Hello and welcome to First Look. I'm young Jeohn. Today we'll be looking at the HyperX Pulsefire Surge RGB gaming mouse. Let's go and unbox this guy. This is the unboxing of the HyperX Pulsefire Surge RGB gaming mouse. This is the front of the box, the back of the box, and what we pull out is a nice cardboard box with a quick start guide, congratulations card, support card, and the mouse. And that's what comes in the box. Quick start guide, paperwork, and your mouse. HyperX is known for their gaming accessories, from their mechanical keyboards like the Alloy Elite to this mouse. I'm going to lower the light to show you the different colors. And let's do this. The first thing you'll notice about this mouse is the colors. Once you plug it in, you'll see this. It's 360 degrees of beautiful color, so no matter where anyone is sitting, they will notice this mouse right away. Now there's three different color modes. One is the rainbow effect that you're seeing right now. The colors are swirling all around in 360 glorious degrees. Now if you wanted to change it to mode 2, you hold down the DPI button and the scroll wheel. And in this color mode, you have a color cycle. One color changes and switches to a different color all around. Instead of different colors swirling, you'll have different colors changing. The third and final color is a solid color, such as this. Now let's say that it's too bright for your eyes and you want to lower it just a little bit, or your boss happens to walk into the room and disapproving of really cool stuff. So let's lower this light intensity by holding down the DPI button and pressing down here. 1, 2, and 3 until it's off. So now the light's totally off. You have 4 different levels of off, a little bit brighter, level 1, level 2, and level 3, which is the brightest. And once your boss is gone, you can hold the button down and go back to number 1 setting, which is to have the 360-degree colorful rainbow, which is pretty awesome. Let's turn the light back on. Now that you've seen the main attraction, which is the light, I want to go through the mouse. This is an extremely long cord. There's the mouse. I'm going to hold this mouse and just kind of stretch my arm out. And I'm still stretching and stretching and stretching. This is about 6 feet long. The cord itself is braided material, very flexible, very, very strong. Now there's something interesting about the material design. If you look at the top cover, it's made of a shiny, very, very smooth plastic material. But if you look at the side, it's made out of kind of rubber. I mean, it looks the same, but it feels very, very different. Instead of the engineers plastering on a piece of rubber right on the side, they've decided to make the whole thing out of like a rubbery kind of material on the right and the left side. So when you grip it, it feels kind of soft. Your hand just kind of goes right to where it should because of the cutouts here, forces your hand to kind of shoink, come right there. So your hand doesn't go down here, it doesn't go up there, it just stays right in this area there. It's not gonna go anywhere. You have a nice, it feels nice, is the bottom line. It really feels nice, and it feels like you have something to hold on to. This is a 6-button mouse. You have your main left, right, and scroll wheel over here. You have a DPI button that's in a smooth plastic, a different material, so you can find it right away without having to look at it. And on the left side, you have your previous and your next buttons also in a smooth plasticky material that you don't have to hunt around for or look at. You just move your fingers sideways and you can feel a difference right away as compared to the rubber side. Underneath these buttons are Omron switches, which are good for 50 million clicks. You can mash the buttons all you want 50 million times. It'll probably keep on going and outlast whatever games you're going to be playing. The DPI button has 3 built-in settings, which is 800, 1600, and 3200. And it'll indicate by changing colors whenever you press the DPI setting, and it'll revert back to whatever color settings you've had after it changes DPI settings. If you look at the bottom, there's two huge skates here. Normally they have little bits of plastic, but this is like covering almost half your mouse, ensuring a really smooth glide. The sensor they use is a Pixar 3389, a very well-respected company, and it's a native resolution of 16,000 DPI, but no one, of course, in the right mind would use such a thing. Considering most esports players set their DPI settings at 400 to 1600, 16,000 is a bit too high for most applications, but it is there if you should ever need it. Aside from the lights and the material design, the mouse weighs about 100 grams. Now 100 grams is enough weight that if you tap it on the side, it doesn't go flying off the table. It just kind of, hovers around here, left and right, within reach of your hand. A lot of mice are fairly cheap, and actually if you tap them, it'll fly off the table. But not this one. I sort of wish there was a weight system where you can add and subtract weights, but at this price range, that's probably not a feasible thing. But in the future, maybe they'll come out with one that actually has that kind of system. That would be a nice little cherry on top. So one thing I want to note after playing around with the mouse is that it feels a little bit airy, and let me show you what I mean. If I go closely up here to the camera and click this mouse, from the time I press this button, it clicks like a split second later. Now for most folks, it won't make a bit of difference, but it's just good to keep in mind. So aside from the mouse, you'll want a way to customize the lights, the buttons, and all of that. And to do that, you can download software on hyperxgaming.com/NGenuity. It's called NGenuity Software. It's about 150-16 megabytes big. So download it and install it, and let me give you a quick preview of what it can do. So here's the NGenuity software interface, and this is where you get to set all of your settings and see what happens in the simulation of your mouse top, your mouse side, and the other side. And let's say I want to create a new one. So you create a new one, boom. I'll call this test 25. And now you can select a game profile. If you're not sure of how to start, you can select your favorite game, Diablo 3, you have PUBG, you have Rocket League, you have No Man's Sky. Okay, let's take that as a start, and we can save this. And you can customize it further here. Now there's three types of customizations. You have lighting, you have performance, and you have macros. And to change the lighting, you can go to standard or advanced. And in standard, we have solid, color cycle, you have breathing, you have your simulation here just to show you what the breathing is. You can change your speed, so it breathes faster. You can have your trigger, which is cool because every time you press your button is a trigger. Boom, boom. Which is very, very cool. You can go to advanced. And you have 360-degree colors, so you can change each different color. It's a blue. And let's say this one, I want it to be yellow, right there. And here I want it to be a little bit less yellow, more orange. And here I want it to be even more orange. And here I want it to be like a little red over here. And over here, you can see all the changes happening as you do it in this simulation. Now that's just the lighting. Now you can go to performance, and basically this is the DPI sensitivity levels. Remember the three different settings. You have 800, you have 1600, and the green here is 3200. You can change it to have 5 different settings for pressing the DPI levels. 6400, 16, you can change this to whatever you want. So if I didn't want 1600 in the middle here, I want it to be, 1200, and I don't want it to be 3200, I want it to be, all right, 2500. That'll be the sensitivity from then on. You can go to macros, and you can assign your keys to do different things. There's a library here, and you can record your macros to do whatever you want it to do every time you press that button. So you have a lot of things that you can do. I'm gonna go back to profile. Here are the 3 settings of your mouse. You have your wave, which is setting 1. You have your cycle, which is the color cycle, setting 2. and you have your third. Anytime you want a setting saved into your mouse, you can select that and you can move it right into one of these slots. I'm not going to change it because I like what I have over here already. And HyperX, okay, great. I have crashed the program, so let me start this up again. This is the first time it's ever crashed on me. The most important thing you have to remember is that these 3 slots represents the 3 memory slots inside the mouse. So whenever you want to change one of these settings, just drag and drop whatever you've saved into this. You can click on this and see a simulation, but actually if you look at the mouse right now, it has changed into whatever slot I've clicked on. So if I click on the blue slot right now, my mouse is going to change into that. It's blue and my mouse is also blue. I'm going to click here, and it's going to turn into the bleeding color thing. And it'll simulate it on the simulator as well as the mouse itself, which is pretty interesting. I want it back to teal, and I can do that. If I press, I wonder what happens if I select on the mouse, if it'll change. Yes, it will. Look at that. If I select it by pressing DPI and the scroll wheel, it'll automatically change in the software too. Wow, amazing. I like it. One additional thing, this program also updates firmware, so it not only works for this mouse, it should also work for keyboards or other things that have firmware integrated into it. Thank you very much for watching our look into the HyperX Pulsefire Surge RGB mouse. It's got a smorgasbord of customizable settings, including colors and DPI settings and all of that stuff. And it's a very cool mouse. I like it, actually. It's got a great design. I like the grip. I like a lot of things about it. And if you ever want to check out prices for this unit here, you can go and check out our notes. We'll have Amazon affiliate links down below. Please don't forget to subscribe to First Look, and we shall see you all again next time. Unless this decides to crap out and close program. Oh God.